Yeah. What's up, guys? Your boy Hugo the Savage back again for another The Raw review show. This is for Raw. What was the date on it? The 15th of August 2022. Let's review the goddamn show. Obviously, I'm here a little bit earlier, but I did tell you guys that. Listen, I got stuff to do with it, man. It is what it is, man. This is when you try and run a couple businesses, you know what I mean? You have to, and obviously I got stuff to do this morning, so went a little bit earlier. But I did say it's always going to be in the region of this time anyway. Everyone should expect it. This is the time when my reactions normally go up, etc. So, yeah, bear with me on that one. For the people who come in later on, shout out to you guys. All I ask is if you like the video, like it. If you watch the video for longer than 5 minutes, just like the damn thing in it, because you know what I'm saying. And subscribe if you keep coming back week in, week out. Then subscribe. No point messing around in that, because it's free. Don't be a bum. For the crowd, for the demon team that's inside, welcome. You know, like that. We're here, obviously. Yeah, man. Finished watching Raw. I watched Raw earlier on, to be honest. So I watched it live. Then I had to go gym and stuff like that. You know what I mean, take care of the house. So and get into the chat, see what everyone's saying. But big up Gary, Tally Savage, you know, like that. Big up Left, you know, them way there. Big up, man. You know, like that. I hope everyone's well. I hope everyone got to watch Raw. So it's easier to run through the review show. I'm here for a good time, not a long time, you know, like that. So I'm trying to get this done in around 45 minutes. But if it goes on a little bit longer, it does. It's going to be a few. We're going to go bit by bit of each segment, but obviously there's going to be points where I need to stop off and talk about certain things. But otherwise, from that, we'll keep it running clean, like a clean show. And then then we'll rate the show and then we'll get the hell out of it, you know, like that. Because I'm sure everyone's got stuff to do in their life. So yeah, we're here. Big up Morris. You already know the vibes, bro. Demon team aficionado went at the capo. Yeah, it's good to see you here, brother. What does everyone think of Raw today? Don't give me a rating yet, but just give me an overall of what you think of Raw before we hit the stage and that. Because, you know, there's no rules on this channel, so we do it how we want to do it. But Raw, for me, I had the same feeling. Listen, the dust is starting to settle on Triple H running the company now, but it's still only been 2 weeks. So I said I'm going to give him time anyway. Big up Raquel. I think is that Raquel or Rachel? I swear it's Raquel. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to give it time on how the products run and give him time to implement stuff. What I would want from people is, well, not what I would want from people. I don't actually care, but for everyone else to lower your expectation on certain things, because from what's in online when people are talking is everyone saying, I expected somebody to return. I expected Gargano to return. I expected something to do with the thing. And I'm like, you can have expectations of a show, but you going into a show expecting somebody to return is kind of like, it's kind of not fair on the creators and the company, because that's what people do with AEW. If nobody comes from WWE and turns up and gives a pop, no one seems to care. Whereas you got to focus on the brand, what's in, because remember WWE released over like 80 people, 100 people, and of them 80 or 100 people, at least 30 of them could have been still used on the roster. And of the 30, Triple H might look to bring back at least 20 of them over the course. I wouldn't want him to bring them all back straight away. I think the way he brought Hit Row back was perfect. Dakota Kai and Io Shirai, perfect. Dexter Loomis, perfect. Like, these things are perfect at the moment. But people are forgetting that there's still a Royal Rumble to come in January, where he might have called all these people already and said, listen, when he gets to Royal Rumble, it's when you're making your return. And that way you can introduce loads of people without making it look cheesy, because we've got a draft coming up sooner or later. I think they might do the draft after the Clash at the Castle. And you know, I'm not a massive fan of the drafts. I'm not focused there. I'm not a massive fan of the drafts only because everyone's turning up on everyone's show anyway. But it does make sense. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see on that one. Raw dropped a lot from last week. That what they did with Riddle last night was tolerable. I agree. It did drop off a little bit. I still was able to watch it and not think this is shit. But there was stuff that I can pick up on, which I'll go through bit by bit. And a lot of people may not have picked up on these little things, but it's just because of the kind of it's kind of how my brain works with little things. I do it with movies as well. You know what I mean? I'm very critical of certain aspects, and it's always the small things for me. Judgment Day kicking off the show was unexpected and very unusual. Yep. Cody Rhodes. Nah, I don't think Cody Rhodes is coming back. He's still injured. Yeah. Drew is winning Clash at the Castle. We'll see, man. Hope not. I hope not. But yeah, let's get into it. So back from where Morris said, we kicked off the show with Judgment Day cutting a promo in the ring. I don't know what to say about the Judgment Day. Like, I don't like them. I think there's cool things about them. I think the black suits and that's terrible. I don't like Rhea in the suit. I think I like the thing in the ring where when they've got the purple lights on, their shadow's white instead of being black, which is cool. I like that. I think that's dope. I didn't think Damon Priest's part of the promo was too bad, to be fair. Talking about he's going to fight Edge, I think it's next week in Toronto, in Edge's hometown. And he said he's going to retire him and stuff like that. He's got the mad deep voice to speak in it, but he doesn't. No one really cares about what he's saying. They really need to push the boundaries, but obviously Morris said the exact same thing. Until they make it TV 14, it's kind of hard for them to push the boundaries, and I can't really take Finn serious in that position. I like the last Finn I liked was in NXT when he was the Prince, and he was kind of a tweener, and he wasn't overly smiling too much. Getting him to do these weird faces and stuff when he's not the demon just feels strange. So they cut the promo. We had Rey Mysterio while they were cutting the promo attack him. Probably a bad move, considering there's three of them and one of him, and obviously he was on his own. So that was a bit mad to me. What I will say from this segment, Ray got the upper hand for a little bit. He got the chair out. He was beating him up with that. I think there was a move where he threw the chair at Finn Balor and then done a drop kick, which was kind of cool. I like that. But then it didn't work in the end, and Rhea got involved. She kind of done the thing where you can't hit me, so he was in two minds, like I can't. Where we know that it's a bit weird to me because we watched him give Nia Jax a 619 like 3-4 years ago now at Royal Rumble. So he wouldn't hit her. It backfired. She held him. He got kicked in the chest. He got a coup de grace with the chair. Now, what I'll say about this segment is it wasn't needed, and it's kind of feeling repetitive every week that these two are going at it. These groups, well, the Mysterios versus Judgment Day. And on top of that, Rey Mysterio is one of the most beloved characters in the WWE. Everyone loves Rey Mysterio, whether he's your favorite or not. Everyone loves him. 2 weeks ago, we had the Rey Mysterio anniversary where people were clapping him. He was getting gifts and all these things. And then he gets beat up and nobody comes out. Nobody comes out to help him. Like, they just left him to get beat up. No one from the backstage helped him. I mean, I watched, I know it's a different show, but I watched Madcap help Drew McIntyre against the Usos. But everyone just leaves Rey to get beat up. There was no staff that came out to help him. No medical staff, no referees, no Simon Peter, none of it, no Jamie Noble. I don't get it. Why they just left him. It was very, very strange to me that happened, but it is what it is, I guess. That's what I mean about little details. I don't think people are thinking that far. I am, and I always am. Moving on from that segment, there we got, it's mad to be attacking people 3-on-1, but then one of the three is a woman, you can't attack. Yeah, it's stupid. If she's going to attack you, then hit her back, man. I don't really care. Was this another tournament match? I think it was. Oscar and Alexa versus Bliss. I mean, Oscar and Alexa versus Doudrop and Nikki. Listen, the match was okay. We knew the outcome of the match. I don't know with this one. I think the Nikki and Doudrop being the tag team is a bit shit, to be honest. Like, I don't understand why it's there. Obviously, they progressed in the tournament, Bliss and Oscar, which I expected. Moments later, the EST, you know what I mean, she came out. And then flipping Bailey and the Bailey Buddies came out at the top of the ramp. And there was a standoff with all six of them. And I'm just going to say this, innit? Because judging on what I just said about Rey Mysterio, how come all of a sudden all the staff and the referees come out to stop these women fighting when it's 3-on-3? But when Rey's getting beat up in the ring, they just left him alone. For me, it's another critical thing on WWE where they don't know how to do reality. They don't know how to do real life. And it's weird because, yeah, they pushed the boundaries when, like, in the earlier days and stuff of wrestling, but they still could do real stuff. It's very weird. Like, I don't understand. I don't know. And I don't understand. The women came face to face. They were just shouting at each other, and they didn't come to blows. But the week before, they were fighting each other in the ring. Just fight. I seen the same thing happen with the Usos a couple of weeks back with the Street Profits. They were fighting in the ring, and the week after, Jeff Jarrett got involved and just said stop, and they stopped. I don't really like that. Oh, it's ridiculous, bro. Just bring back Sanity and Nikki. 100% bring Sanity and Nikki back, and have Doudrop follow that character instead of having it the other way around. Because having Doudrop trying to tell Nikki how to act and stuff like that, it's a bit shit. It's a bit shit for me. Yeah. After that, we had trying to keep this in. I've got some notes here. We had Theory and Dolph Ziggler backstage. I wasn't too mad at the promo of this, to be honest. The promo what Austin Theory was cut was one of his better promos. He obviously was cutting an interview at having an interview at first, and then Dolph Ziggler got involved, and then he went from like he kind of called him washed up and stuff to Dolph, and then Dolph was saying that, listen, I wasn't handpicked to win the Money in the Bank and all this stuff. I worked for it. I had to work my ass off, and that. Yeah, you know that Austin's going to come back with all of the talk from a young Money in the Bank winner. And then he got hit in the face, and then they started brawling with each other. I didn't like how it went to break when they started brawling. They probably should have had the camera fall out the cameraman's hand, or let the cameraman fall over, hear a bit of scuffling, then go to the break instead of just knocking into the cameraman, and it's just fine to carry on. That was very weird to me. Obviously, when they came back, the brawl continued. Once again, staff got involved to break them up, like staff got involved for the women, but they left Ray. And then in the back of this shot, we saw a hand. Now, I've seen people losing their damn mind on Twitter, and I'm not really a fan of Twitter. I hardly ever go on there, but it's how people send me the messages for reaction videos and stuff, what to react to, news and stuff like that. So I realized that Bray Wyatt was trending. I was like, okay, what's going on here? Then I seen it, and I was like, well, I'm like, isn't that clearly Dexter Loomis's hand? Like it looked like him breaking in for a fire exit, because obviously that's how he's going to get himself in the building for later on in the segment. It didn't even look like Bray's hand to me. I seen the glove, but Dexter wears gloves. I didn't see no pain or, you know what I mean, hurt or heal on the glove. So I don't know why everyone was losing their mind out of it. It's getting a bit lazy that people can't be bothered to just look at what's going on. But yeah, they did tease throughout the show little things to do with Dexter Loomis. Some things didn't make any sense. That one did, because he was breaking into the building. But yeah, that's kind of how that segment went. Did the handle scene in the background. Then we had Miz and Champa, where Miz had give Champa a necklace and kind of told him how proud he was of the match he had against Bobby Lashley, even though he lost the match. So that wasn't really anything to go by, but they were just celebrating their friendship, what I thought was all right. Did you hear that Matt Riddle and Rob Van Dam want to team up together? No, I saw them together at the Hall of Fame last year, I think it was, or the year before. It was the year before, but no, I didn't hear anything about that. Rob Van Dam's living his life, man. He's having a great time with his with his weed and his missus. He seems to be, you know what I'm saying? So big up to him. After that, we had the emergence of the Ezekiel Elias family. Ezekiel, Elias, Alrod. Yeah, it was a bit. I don't know what to say about this thing. You know, like they seem like they're moving away from him and Kevin Owens. But now they've introduced the whole family. It could end up being something fun, but for me, I didn't think they needed to go down that route. I was fine with just doing the Ezekiel and Elias thing. Introducing more people introduces more problems for it to go wrong. Ezekiel's been injured, bro. He's been injured, and that's the reason why they brought the segment up, because he was in his leg was in a cast from being injured. Was it against Seth, was it? If I'm correct, I think it was Seth, not last week or the week before. But yeah, they introduced the whole family, Daddy, Ezekiel, and all that. So Elrod, it's going to be interesting in it, but we'll see. We'll see. Judgment Day is Tosh. Yeah, I'm not a fan of it, to be honest, but I'm always going to give stuff a chance. So I don't fly off the handle at it. But so far, they've not impressed me, and they've lost their major mouthpiece. And Finn Balor doesn't even look strong in this group. Like out of all of them, he has the most star power, but he doesn't look the strongest in the group. I wouldn't be surprised if Rhea Ripley takes over the group eventually, because I don't know what's going on there. Moving on from there, we had Champa and The Miz versus Mustafa Ali and Cedric Alexander. Now, the match itself was fine. And I like Cedric and Ali as wrestlers. I think they're in fact incredible wrestlers. They can do stuff that some people can't do. I watched a match last week with T-Bar versus Mustafa Ali on main event. One of the best matches I've seen for a long time. Like, people were chanting at main event, but then they're putting back in this now. If these two, if I'm correct, I might be wrong. Wasn't there a tag team before? Like, before the Hurt Business and stuff like that? Or was it Ricochet? I swear there was, or was it Apollo? Or all three of them? It was Cedric, Ali, and Apollo, I think it was. I think that's what it was before Retribution and stuff like that. Yeah, I think Ali could do being on his own. I think Cedric probably does need someone because it ain't fair. If I'm not joking, I'll put Cedric and Ricochet together as a tag team and let Ali be on his own because Ricochet's not good on the mic, to be honest. Cedric's got squeaky voice. Ali's actually all right on the mic if you let him do his own script and that. So I would send, when the draft comes, send him over there, let Ricochet and Thingy be a tag team together, or send them both to NXT because at the moment it's kind of pointless. But the match had its, you know what I mean, the match was all right. Obviously, Miz and Champa won the match. Yeah, what do you really say on this, man? Champa blindsided Ali with the knee when he was hitting the 450 splash. It was kind of dope how we caught him. He nearly missed the whole thing, but Ali went for the 450 on the Miz. He obviously he didn't see that Champa had tagged himself in. So when he went for the 450, hit him with a knee, fairy tale ending. Wasn't cheating, it was just smart tag team. So I was here for that. But that wasn't too bad. That was a good match. Pointless but good. Champa needs to be alone. How he was on NXT. I don't understand his alignment with The Miz. Makes no sense. It felt like they just put him with The Miz for the sake of it. But remember, that wasn't on the Triple H when he got put with him. So I would say that the likelihood is they'll break away. Feels like with The Miz though, there's too many heel turns and turns away and all that. Like if you remember, we had Miz and Morrison together, and then the Miz turned on him, and then Morrison didn't come back because then he got released. Then we had the Miz and Logan Paul, and then the Miz turned on him, and now they're not together. And then we've got the Miz and Champa. This is all within like 6-7 months or something like that. So if they're gonna make it special, you would likelihood to have the Miz about to turn on Champa, and Ciampa's already expecting it. And then, we get him break away because he should be on his own. Miz is great, though. Does a lot of work for the company. Thinks about everyone else before he thinks about himself. But Ricochet, Apollo, Cedric, and Ali later on down the line. But Cedric and Ricochet would be a better team. Yeah. That's what I'm saying, man. I think their attributes, some can be used on the roster, but that high-flying kind of attribute thing it's kind of more hard-hitting on NXT unless you're good on the mic. That's why, to be fair to Apollo, he went back down, even though the Nigerian Prince thing was working. It's just that they stopped showing him on TV, and now he's got an American accent back, which is quite funny. And he's just not going to explain himself like Kofi did back in the day. But yeah, well, it is what it is with that. So yeah, that was the end of that match. Next, I think we had the promo from. This was good. Kind of pointless, but at the same time, KO needed this. So if this is correct, actually, we had backstage first. After we had the Alrod family and all that stuff, we had backstage. When Drew was walking to the ring, we had there was a bin on fire, which I think was Dexter Lumis as well. Kind of pointless. You could have done something else. You could have done spray paint on the wall. You could have done something else. You could have had something go wrong in AJ's dressing room. Having a bin just set on fire for no reason was pointless. And I bet you they're never going to explain it. But it seemed to have something to do with Lumis, like last week with the car did. We had the promo in the ring from Drew. Decent promo. We kind of, he's always going to kind of allude to the fact that he's there to wrestle. You know what I mean? And he explained that once he beats Roman, all the dream matches he could have, and he started mentioning Drew McIntyre versus AJ Styles or Drew McIntyre versus flipping whoever, Champa and Drew McIntyre, all this business. He was kind of, you know what I mean? You know what he does. And promo was decent because I don't really like hearing Drew speak, to be honest, but his promo was decent. He got better when KO came out. And And KO kind of said to him, like, I didn't hear you mention my name when you was mentioning all them dream match names, but now I'm in front of your face. You want to talk about me and stuff like that. Then he's kind of alluded to the fact that he's been lost as a wrestler and it's time to bring back the prize fighter KO. I liked it kind of, but it does stink of. I had the highest moment nearly of my life against Austin at WrestleMania. Then after that, I just started being angry about Elias not being Elias and being Ezekiel. So now Triple H is back in charge. Let me just change my character up again. I think I might prefer him build into being the prize fighter. Maybe like people getting the upper hand on him or losing a few matches and then becoming it. But it happened. It's fine. And then Drew came back at him and yeah, he finished him off with the promo. And then still, Drew was all right on that part. And he kind of said to him, listen, I've had enough of you rubbish and what you're talking about. You're talking waffle. Like, we're not, forget we're sports entertainers, wrestlers or whatever, but we're wrestlers. So let's wrestle. And I like that. And obviously, kind of alluding to the fact as well that, you know, Vince McMahon had banned certain words in the WWE, like wrestler, wrestling and all that stuff. So, yeah, madness, man. I don't know if if KO was right about I think Morris just said as well. Yeah, if KO was right about this, that's kind of wild, you know. But I think a lot of it's got to do with the fact that for 2 years there was flipping the pandemic going on, or a year and a half. But it doesn't feel right, does it? It doesn't feel right that it's been that long. But I think the last title he had was the United States title, and if that is the case, then it makes sense. Which is kind of bad because that might be was that the face of America, Kevin Owens? I think it was. Because when he was fighting Seth, obviously he tried to go against Roman, didn't win the title there. Yeah, kind of what it is, man. Crazy. We got Ilias. Very off topic, man. But I'll answer it real quick and then we'll keep it wrestling. I have no thoughts on it, bro. He was stupid on it. He was trying to headbutt the Don in the face before that and then done it again in front of the rest face. But I'm not going to go mad at him and that. People get sent off. People lose their head in football all the time. And he had obviously lost his head to be doing that in front of a referee. So he let the team down yesterday, but it's football. It happens. And I'm sure he's going to learn from it. Got to take a bit of that South American flame out of him. And yeah, man, now he's banned for 3 games and we need him against United. But it is what it is, man. So where we go from there. Yeah, so this match between Drew and KO, great match. And when we see what the main event is of the show, you'd argue that I don't understand why this match or the United States title match wasn't the main event. But they put it in the middle of the card. Maybe it's to keep the crowd there. They put on one of the best matches I've seen from both of them. And it really lends to the point of if Drew ever does win that title, you could build a story off both of them and have a great match at whatever pay-per-view. Impressive match. Now, I knew what was going to happen in this match for it to end. I knew what was going to happen because Drew can't be losing going into Clash at the Castle because he needs to look strong. Because I don't think he's going to win at Clash at the Castle, so the likelihood is keep him looking strong. KO can't afford to lose. You can't afford to change your character back to the prize fighter and then lose on the same day. So he had to win the match or not lose. Usos came out to attack Drew, which is, you know, that's what happens. And he's fine. They're trying to soften him up for Roman when it gets to Clash at the Castle. Drew actually got the upper hand on the Usos after that. Took him out a little bit, threw him out the ring, and then he turned around and got stunned by KO. He did say then that, like, I think, what did we get from that? Yeah, he said, KO said to the Usos, tell your tribal chief that he owes me one, which is referring to him softening Drew up, which is good because I didn't like the fact that Kevin Owens didn't feel like a heel through the segment, so I'm glad that he done that. When Drew got the mic after, looked into the camera and said, tell your boss that I'll see him on Friday, which is alluding to SmackDown. So I'm guessing Roman's going to be on SmackDown on Friday. We'll see what happens there. Crop Top J. Yeah, man. Madness, bro. On a Kofi Kingston one. Moving on from there, we had... This segment was stupid. people who are a massive fan of Riddle will enjoy it. I'm a fan of Riddle, but I think it's stupid. There's some things with Riddle that don't make sense in it. And we are going to see now, with Triple H in charge and giving these wrestlers more freedom, we're about to see who's really good and who's really not, because they're going to be responsible for their own stuff. So if everyone wants to give everyone the excuse of prior to this with Vince, that's fine. Now Triple H is ahead. We're going to have to call it how we see it. Now, we had Seth Rollins in the ring. He's cutting a promo on Riddle. He's kind of explaining to Riddle that, and to the crowd, that he's expecting Riddle to retire because he's took him out of the game and he ain't going to be able to fight. And then Riddle comes up on the Titantron live from his mom's basement. And they go back and forth with each other. And then Riddle's like, oh, yeah, I'm not really in my mom's basement. And Seth's like, I wish you was here right now to my face. What this business? And then it zooms out. And then Riddle's like, what you see, Seth? I'm here. I'm actually here in DC. I'm not in my mom's basement. And basically, he was sitting backstage with a backdrop, a lava lamp, looking like he was in a bedroom, and he wasn't. Now, my question for this would be, and why I think it's stupid. First of all, what benefit did it have Riddle being backstage? Because he didn't know that Seth was going to come to the ring and cut a promo on him. So that means Riddle was just sitting backstage the whole time in front of a lava lamp in the backdrop, which also means that Seth would have had to walk past him at some point, which makes no sense. He wasn't in like a special room in parts unknown. He was just there. So it doesn't make sense why he was there. He went through the trouble of getting a backdrop and a lava lamp to make it look, to disguise the fact that he was I'm in my mom's room. But if Seth never came, then what would have happened? What would have happened if Seth never came to the ring? Crazy to me, isn't it? It's crazy if you think about it like that. Obviously, Riddle took off the mic and then he ran to the ring, flip-flops and everything, which took him a while. Got into a brawl with Seth. Looked like he was going to do something, but then Seth got the upper hand, threw him, pulled him off the table to the announce table, threw him over it, and then ran into the crowd. I think he got kicked into the crowd actually by Riddle, and then from there, it was weird. It was a weird segment. It ended up with them both in the crowd, fans going crazy, and yeah, it is what it is. Nice shot of Riddle in the crowd, but it was pointless. Don't see why Riddle wasn't in that actual room. Exactly. It's pointless, bro. And he's saying he's cleared to wrestle, but he hasn't got a match. So why even there, really? Like, it doesn't make much sense. But we had Via versus Bo Keller. It is pointless talking about this Via thing, man. Do something with Via now, man. Stop the foolishness. Then we had a Bobby Lashley versus AJ Styles for the United States title. It got a lot. The show started to get lackluster by the time it got to this match, but the match was actually good. I actually didn't know how this was going to finish because I knew that Lashley wouldn't lose, but I thought it'd be a bit weird if AJ just loses clean again. And he did end up losing the match clean. He went for a phenomenal forearm, I think it was. He had Bobby Lashley in a calf crusher for a while, and it looked like he might have had him. Lashley got out of that, and he obviously went for a phenomenal forearm. Bobby rolled out the way off the rope and then spear. In between this match, we had Dexter Lumis come through the crowd again and try and get to AJ. And I know a lot of people don't like it, but I applaud the way they've done this because it really looks like it's just a random, like, sneaky guy trying to get there. Like, it doesn't look like it's a wrestler, like I said, because a lot of people wasn't into NXT, so they didn't know who he was. And even today, there was no, like, when somebody comes out the crowd, when a wrestler comes through the crowd, usually people start screaming and cheering and stuff like that. And you can kind of hear it before the camera pans through. You couldn't. And the fact that the commentator sold it and said that they don't know who it is as well and who's this, the way the police took him down and security took him down was dope. If I would have, if you're going to keep doing this week in, week out, because it becomes a bit repetitive, I would have next week just have a shot of police outside, some commotion, police run into the outside, some commotion with the police flashing lights on and stuff like that, and have like AJ's car set on fire or something, and just have him trying to pull Dexter off. Because AJ's going to have to address it sooner or later. It's a bit weird that he saw one guy come after him twice and not said anything. Because you can't say that he doesn't know it's not him by now because it was two different matches. But that's how that one ended. We had the next match was a bit of a filler match. And it feels like the show is booked in a way where they book the matches they want to see and then they just fill in when they realize how much time's left, and they're like, okay, then once we've done all these matches, there's 53 minutes left. Let's divide it between a few different matches via Mahan and Champa and Mears, and this one, Dakota Kai versus Dana Brooke, which was not for the 24/7 title, by the way. Weird to me, because I'm like, if you're not gonna take the 24/7 title away, and you haven't because you mentioned it, but you've stopped the running around, should have just made it for the 24/7 title. I don't understand why not. Put some importance on it. But yeah, Dakota Kai versus Dana Brooke. Shout out to both women for getting some TV time. The match was all right. It was average. I kind of don't. You know how excited I was on my reaction when the Bailey and the Bailey buddies returned and that, because I like each girl individually, but I think it might be a waste having them together already. Like, Dakota Kai doesn't fit well being underneath someone, and Io Shirai was busting everyone's ass on her own. Everyone watched Dakota Kai in NXT, especially when she done the heel turn, and when she was Raquel Gonzalez and Raquel was her bodyguard. It seems weird now, her being underneath. And obviously Dana Brooke, they never treat her right anyway. So, yeah, it is what it is, man. It's one of them ones. Nice victory for Dakota Kai, boot to the face. You know how that one goes. And then we go into the main event. Seems like this Raw reviews, I've done it really fast, but it wasn't the greatest Raw. It was decent, but it wasn't great. We had Dolph Ziggler and Austin Theory based on their backstage segment earlier on in the day. Another good match, but pointless. There was nothing on the line. There was nothing to do with, like, there's no title shots on the line. The briefcase isn't on the line. Why is this the main event when we just had AJ and Bobby watch the title match? Just put it as the main event. Or we could have Drew and KO as a main event, but lackluster in the end. Another good match. Surprisingly to me, there was a part Austin Theory did try to cheat and win by putting his foot on the rope. The ref saw it. Then it looked like Dolph was trying to pull his tights, but you couldn't really see the angle. But yeah, in the end, he caught him with I think he went for that DDT and he got caught on Austin's shoulders. A-Town down. Austin picks up the victory. And, you know, I'm not mad at him winning because he needs to win. He can't constantly keep losing. It's a bit ridiculous. Because then when he does cash in, if he ever wins the title, how are we supposed to take him seriously? Now, I don't think Roman's going to lose at Clash of the Castle. But if he does, can you imagine if he loses and then when Drew's celebrating, or maybe Roman loses, the Usos and Roman take out Drew, and then Austin Theory cashes in on Drew. And then the week after, Roman just wins the title back of Austin. Can you imagine if that happens? No, I'm just saying, man. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there. 35 minutes. I said 45, but the show wasn't great. It wasn't terrible either. I'd give this show a 6 out of 10, 6.5. The matches were good. The length of the matches, giving them time to wrestle, was good. But I just feel like whoever's helping Triple H and stuff like that, it's only 2 weeks in, so it's whatever. You got to start booking for the TV fans as well. It feels like they were booking for everyone what was in the stadium to make them happy, which is what people do on live shows. And you do have to do that in a certain way as well, but some more continuity with the storylines on TV. I would have liked another cliffhanger because I've been enjoying those kind of things as well. And I enjoy that everyone's getting more time as well. You know what I mean? I hope that it continues. So I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10. It was decent. Let me know, you guys, what your rating was in the chat just before I go. I've just had a message, to be fair, so I do have to go anyway. Because I run about 4 different businesses, so it's kind of hard for me, but I'll always try and get the reviews in when I can. And like I said to guys, if you see no review, you'll see a reaction. 1 or the 2 will go up. Because I have recorded the reactions, by the way, but you know what I'm saying, I'll pick and choose if I put them up or not. Let me know if you want more things to the channel. If you want more things on this channel to do with wrestling, let me know what your advice is, what you want, what suggestions. And if I think it's good, I'll do it, man. If it's worthwhile, I'll definitely do it. But yeah, 6.5 out of 10 for me. Average start, good middle, average end. So not much I can say about that. Bit more storytelling would be nice. I like keeping stuff backstage and that. Triple H needs to calm down on the breakout fights though, of people just going back and forth for no reason. And you had the girls breakout fight, you had the Seth and Riddle breakout fight. Calm down with that a little bit. But it is what it is. Morris says 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10 is probably all right, to be fair, because 5 out of 10 is an average show. So I might agree with you on that. I think it only bumped it up to a 6 because actually, it's because KO and Drew McIntyre was a great match and their segment was great. But apart from that, it is what it is. But yeah, man, that's been your weekly Raw review. Obviously, I'll be back. I'll be back for SmackDown reactions. Let me know if you want anything else in. Like I said, I do want to do more retro stuff and that, but I might have to do it on Patreon. I've set the Patreon up now, just finalizing a few things on there, and I'm going to start doing the Raw review on that, but it's going to have reactions. Can't get copyright claimed on Patreon, I don't think. Anyway, if I do, then it's a bit of a shambles. But then we'll just have to do a watch along, and everyone who's got the network can do it along with me, and I'll do the timestamps. Or I might do a watch along of the different pay-per-views leading from around like 1993 onwards. But yeah, it's been fun. Obviously, I need to do more stuff on my other channels as well. So if you're not subscribed to HUGO Online and Savage Talks Football, HUGO Online more than anything, unless you're a football fan, subscribe over there. Literally, it's been too hot where I've been to be doing anything. So all I've done this week is loads of live streams, especially with football. I will be back though, and the content will be becoming more frequent. Just trust me in that. So yeah, man, guys, thank you for coming across. You've all been great. Anyone who comes in later to see, yes, big up to you as well. So no more reviews and watch-alongs on this channel. No. I'm on about the reviews and watch-alongs for the pay-per-views and Raw will be on this channel. I'm saying that for Retro Raw, so Attitude Era and Ruthless Aggression, those things get copyright claims straight away because they belong to the WWE network. So when I do a reaction to those things, I'll have a clip of the full reaction on the channel, but the full reaction will be on Patreon. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, I mean, just because there's no point putting it up if it's going to get blocked, because they get blocked straight away. So big up Khaled. But yeah, I'm going to get the hell out of here. Big up to everyone inside. Thanks for everyone doing it. I know everyone's coming from all over the world and stuff, so everyone's time is messed up, but there's literally no perfect time to do these kind of things. And I wanted it to be closer to Raw than further away. And obviously I'm in England and it, so yeah, man. It's been fun though. You guys have been great. I gotta get the hell out of here, boy. Been your boy Hugo Savage. You already know the vibes. Comment, like, and subscribe.